Hello students, today I'll be taking the second lecture of Python programming. In this lecture we are going to study about function definitions, global scope, nested functions, lambda function, list comprehension, exception handling, standard input output, handling files, string functions, pass, delete, function and none. Now these are the type of functions. Basically we can divide functions into following two types. The first one is built-in functions, functions that are built into Python. Python abs is a function which returns absolute value of a number. Python all is a function which returns true when all elements in iterable is true. Python any checks if any element of an iterable is true. Python ASCII returns string containing printable representation. Python bin converts integer into binary string. Python bool converts a value to boolean. Python byte array returns array of given byte size. Python bytes returns immutable bytes object. User-defined functions. Functions that we define ourselves to do certain specific tasks are referred to as user-defined functions. Now, advantages of user-defined functions is, the first one is user-defined functions help to decompose a large program into small segments, which makes program easy to understand, maintain and debug. If repeated code occurs in a program, function can be used to include those codes and execute when needed by calling that function. Programmers working on large project can divide the workload by making different functions. A function is a block of organized reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. Functions provide better modularity for your application and a high degree of code reusing. Now, how to define a function? Function blocks begin with the keyword def followed by the function name and parentheses, and any input parameters or arguments should be placed within these parentheses. You can also define parameters inside these parentheses. The first statement of a function can be optional statement, the documentation string of the function or docstring. The code block within every function starts with a colon and is indented. The statement return expression exits a function, optionally passing back an expression to the caller. A return statement with no arguments is the same as return none. Now, function syntax. First you use the def keyword and then you write the function name, and inside the parentheses you will insert the parameters. Function docstring. Docstring is a kind where docstring is like comments. In docstring you can enter messages you want to enter and it will not be executed by the compiler. Now, function arguments. You can call a function by using any of the following types of arguments: required arguments, keyword arguments or default arguments. Now, what are required arguments? The arguments passed to the function in correct positional order are the required arguments. Keyword arguments, the function call identifies the arguments by the parameter names. Default arguments, the argument has a default value in the function declaration when the value is not provided in the function call. Function calling. Function name, bracket parameters, example, print me, and in parentheses the parameter passed is string. Variable length arguments. This is used when you need to process unspecified additional arguments. An asterisk is placed before the variable name in the function declaration. Now, see this in this example, we have declared a function print info. It has two arguments, argument 1 and the other is a pointer type of argument which is variable tuple. Now, first of all, what we are doing, we are going to print a message which is output is. then the next statement will be print argument 1. Whatever argument is being passed in the function while the function is being called, it will be printed. Then we will include a for loop. Now for var is a variable in var tuple. Print var return. Now after return, no statement will be executed and we will come out of the loop, and the for loop will continue until we have exited the for loop. Print info 5. Now here we are calling print info function using by the integer 5. Now how this works when the print info is called? What will happen? Argument you have passed the value 5. Now the first message will be printed, output is, and the argument 1 value will be printed, which is 5. Now when you call the function print info again by passing by 3 values, including 3 values 10, 20 and 30. Similarly, the message will be printed, output is 10, 20 and 30. And how many times will the for loop run? For loop will run for var in var tuple. Now var is the value starting from 1 and up to the number of parameters in the function calling. Now return values. To let a function return a value, use the return statement. Definition: define my function x, return 5 into x. Now in this function, what you are doing, you are just returning the product of multiples of 5. For example, if you call the function my function 3, then the output should be 15, right? But it won't be printed because you haven't given a print statement yet. But it will, the value will be 15. Now, when you call the my function by passing the value 5, then the value printed should be 25. Similarly, when you have called the function using 9, the value should be 45, right? Now, what are nested functions? The functions are one of the first class citizens of Python, which means that functions are at the same level as Python objects like integers, strings, modules, etc. They can be created and destroyed dynamically, passed to other functions, returned as values, etc. A function which is defined inside other function is known as inner function or nested function. Nested functions are able to access variables of the enclosing scope. If the outer function is not called, the inner function will never execute. Nested functions are used so that they can be protected from everything happening outside the function. This process is also known as encapsulation. So, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is basically hiding the details, hiding the relevant details. For example, there is a function called function 1. Now print hello from outer function. In this function, this is what is happening. A message is being printed which reads hello from outer function. Then in this function, you have defined another function. There's a nesting being done here. The function name is function 2. And now when in this function, what you will do, what is happening? Another message is printing, which is hello from inner function. Now what are we doing? We are calling this function 2 in the same function itself. And when we exit this function, we will call function 1. When function 1 is called, what happens? The message hello from outer function is printed. Then we enter the function 2, where hello from the inner function gets printed, right? Now this is also an example of nested function Python program to demonstrate accessing of variables of nested functions. Define f1 s equals to outer. Define in the same function f1, what we are doing, we are declaring another function f2, where s is a variable which stores value inner. Now print s. First of all, we will call function 2 in the function itself, and then we will print s. Now we exit the function 2, and when we exit it, we call function 1. What happens? First of all, we enter the function f1, in which function 2 gets called, and value of s is printed, which is inner, right? Then after printing inner, what we do? We print s. Now since s has value outer in function fn, so first of all inner will be printed, and then after that only outer will be printed. It can be seen the value of the variable of the outer function is not changed. However, the value of the variable of the outer function can be changed. There are different ways to change the value of the variable of the outer function. Scope and lifetime of variables. Scope of a variable is a portion of a program where the variable is recognized. Parameters and variables defined inside a function is not visible from outside, hence they have a local scope. Lifetime of a variable is the period throughout which the variable exists in the memory. The lifetime of a variable inside a function is as long as the function executes. They are destroyed once we return from the function, hence a function does not remember the value of a variable from its previous calls. Here is an example to illustrate the scope of a variable inside a function. Define, a function is being declared, the name of it is my function. Define my function. What happens in my function? A variable is declared x, which contains value 10. Then what we do? We print a message which is value inside function, and the value we give it is 10, x. Now here x equals to 10 is a local variable to the function my function. When we get out of the function, when we exit this function, we declare another variable x equals to 20. Now x equals to 20, since it is out of the function, the scope of this variable is global. What we do, we will first of all, to see this properly, how the working is, it gets executed, we call the function my function, and after that we will print a message value outside function x. See, now when we call the function my function, what will happen? The message will be printed, value inside function is 10. See, now again we will exit the function. Now x has the value 20. It does not no longer contains value 10, since you have already exited the function. Now what we will do? We will print the message value outside function is x, which is 20 now. Okay, this is how it will be executed. Now Python global, local and non-local variables. What are global variables? In Python, a variable declared outside of the function or in global scope is known as global variable. This means global variable can be accessed inside or outside of the function. Example, create a global variable. What is happening? X is a variable which contains a string or which contains a value global. Now define a function f_o. Now print x inside x. In this function, what is happening? We are printing. A message is being printed, which is x inside is x. Now f_o function is being called. What is happening? First of all, x value will be printed, which is global. After this statement is executed, a message will be printed again, which will be x outside is global. In the above code, we created x as a global variable and defined a function f_o to print the global variable x. Finally, we call the f_o function, which will print the value of x. What if we want to change the value of x inside a function? Now, here you can see x has the same value throughout, right? Now, what if you want to change the value of x inside the function? See, how we will do this? We will declare x global only. Okay. Now, we will define a function f_o in which what is happening? We are printing the multiples of 2. Then we print the value, and after that we call the function. Now, when the function is being called, what will happen? X will be printed, x equals to x 2 times of x, and but this output will show an error. Why? Because Python treats x as a local variable, and x is also not defined inside the function f_o. Right? To make this work, we use global keyword. Changing global variable from inside a function using global. C equals to 0. Now C here is a global variable. Now define function add global C. Now C, scope of variable C is global throughout. C equals to C plus 2. Every time it will be incremented by 2. Print inside add C. Now call the function add. Then after that we will print in main C. When what will happen when add is being called? C is a global variable. C will be incremented by 2. Now C will be 2. Message will be printed inside add 2. Now when we exit the function, the message will be printed in main C is 2. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now what are local variables? A variable declared inside the function's body or in the local scope is known as a local variable. Example, create a local variable. Normally we declare a variable inside the function to create a local variable. Define f_o y equals to local. Print y f_o function is being called. Okay. Example, accessing local variable outside the scope. Function is defined, y equals to local. Function is being called and the value of y is printed. What will be the value of y? It will be name error. Why? Because name y is not defined, and another reason is because y has a value inside a function, not outside it. There's a term called non-local variables. Non-local variables are used in nested functions whose local scope is not defined. This means that variable can be neither in the local nor the global scope. We use non-local keywords to create non-local variable. Example, create a non-local variable. Define a function outer. X equals to local. Define inner. Another function is defined inside the function outer. That is why we have named it inner. So you get the context. Now, non-local variable x is defined. X equals to a value is provided to it which is non-local. Now you will print inner x. After that we will call the function inner x. Now print outer x. And then outer function will be called. In the above code there is a nested function inner. We use non-local keyword to create non-local variable. The inner function is defined in the scope of another function outer. Note if we change the value of non-local variable, the changes appear in the local variable. Python anonymous or lambda functions. Now there is a lambda function. In Python, anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name. While normal functions are defined using the def keyword, in Python anonymous functions are defined using the lambda functions. Hence, anonymous functions are also called as lambda functions. They are both the same thing. Syntax is lambda arguments and colon expressions. Lambda functions can have any number of arguments, but only one expression. The expression is evaluated and returned. Lambda functions can be used wherever functions are required. This is an example to show the use of lambda functions. Double equals to lambda x into 2. Now output should be 10 when the function is called by passing the value 5. Okay. In the above program, lambda x into 2 is the lambda function. Here x is the argument and x into 2 is the expression that gets evaluated and returned. This function has no name. It returns a function object which is assigned to the identifier double. This is nearly the same as define double x, return x into 2. They both will give the same output. Now, use of lambda function in Python. We use lambda functions when we require a nameless function for a short period of time. In Python, we generally use it as an argument to a higher order function, a function that takes in other functions as arguments. Lambda functions are used along with built-in functions like filter, map, reduce, etc. Now, what is filter? The filter function in Python takes in a function and a list as arguments. The function is called with all the items in the list, and a new list is returned which contains items for which the function evaluates to true. Here is an example use of filter function to filter out only even numbers from a list. For example, there is a list called mylist which contains random numbers, odd numbers and even numbers, both are there. Now what we will do, we will create a new list which will contain the list which filters out the even numbers from the above list. How we are going to do that? List equals to filter lambda x in lambda x modulus 2. If the modulus of the function values in the list turns out to be 0, then the numbers will be filtered out as even numbers, and then we will print them. Output should be 4, 6, 8, 12 containing only the even numbers from the original list. Now, what is map function? The map function in Python takes in a function and a list. The function is called with all the items in the list, and a new list is returned which contains items returned by that function for each item. Here is an example use of map function to double all the items in a list. For example, a list is mylist equals to 1, 5, 4, 6, 8, 11, 3 and 12. A new list we want to create which provides the double of the items present in the original list. So what we will do, we will map them and make them twice the initial values. Now there is another function, and this will be the last function we will be studying in this lecture, and rest we will continue in the next lecture. Now the name of this function is reduce. The reduce function is used to apply a particular function passed in its argument to all of its list elements mentioned in the sequence passed along. This function is defined in function tools module. Working at first, two elements of sequence are picked and the result is obtained. Next step is to apply the same function to the previously attained result and number just succeeding the second element, and the result is again stored. The process continues till no more elements are left in the container. The final returned result is returned and printed on console. So this will be all for today. I will continue the next topics in the next lecture.